My name is Jeffrey Earnhardt. I'm working out of Renegade Fighting Systems, and my managers are Phil and Cornbread here that train at Renegade Fighting Systems. I started training for mixed martial arts back in about, I'd say around December, doing a little bit here and there, not really getting too serious with it. And then probably like the past 4 months, I've been training really hard. We finally decided I was going to make an attempt at doing my first amateur fight. So I got a little more serious with it and took it from there. I really wasn't that interested in possibly doing a fight until I really started working with mixed martial arts, doing the jiu-jitsu and working on striking. I was a wrestler in high school, and once I started doing it, I really enjoyed it and decided I'd try and take it serious for once and go see what it's like to step in a cage and have someone else throwing some punches at you. I just like the discipline aspect of the sport. There's a lot more that goes into it than people realize. It's a lot tougher than people think, and it's definitely a lot of fun to do too. I mean, I've really enjoyed spending time here training. It's hard to say that you enjoy something when you're coming in here to get beat up. I feel like there's a lot of similarities in training for wrestling, racing, and mixed martial arts. There's a lot of discipline aspects that go into all three of them. And in high school, when I wrestled, I learned that there was a whole lot of discipline involved in that sport, with just making sure you're on weight, or making sure you're well prepared, conditioning wise, to go against your opponent. And it's the same deal in racing. You gotta mentally be prepared. You gotta physically be prepared, and also the same with MMA. You gotta be conditioned. You gotta be mentally tough to go in that ring and sit there and brawl with someone and take those punches and keep coming. And that's what it's all about. In a race, someone passes you, you don't lay down and quit. You race harder to get back past them. And same in wrestling. Someone puts you on your back, you get off your back and put them on theirs. So there's a lot of similarities in just the mental aspect of it and the whole discipline side of the sports. A lot of people like to try and say that race car drivers really aren't athletes, and all we do is go out there and drive around in circles. And maybe this will be a chance to show people that race car drivers are athletes, and it does take more than just going out there and driving around in circles. We have to be well conditioned, and coming in here doing this, maybe it'll help earn a little more respect for us race car drivers. I'm going to be fighting at 135-pound weight class. It's about 5 pounds less than what I'm walking around at right now, so it's not too bad of a cut. But I've never even had to cut weight in wrestling. It was always walking around at the weight I had to be. So this will be my first time experiencing cutting weight, but I've heard it's going to be pretty tough, but I guess we'll see. Depending on how this fight goes is going to determine whether I continue to do this whole MMA thing more. If it's something that I go in there I'm really well at, I'm going to continue doing it if time permits, with racing and everything else I got going on. But I definitely like to keep doing the training side of it, just because of the physical condition that it gets you in. And I feel like just a little bit of training I've done here the past few months has helped a ton. I went and ran the Talladega Nationwide race just a couple weeks ago, and I felt physically way more prepared going into that race than I have ever. So I definitely like to keep doing the training at the if anything at all, at least keep doing training. But the fighting part, we'll see how this fight goes, and if it's good, we'll continue to do more. Like I said, with time permitting. I think one of my strengths in MMA is probably going to be wrestling, just from where I wrestled in high school. That's kind of my base, what I knew coming in here, and then I've obviously had to learn all the other stuff like jiu-jitsu and boxing as well, because obviously to be a successful fighter, you got to be well-rounded in all the avenues. And I feel like my jiu-jitsu has come a long way with Cornbread. He's taught me a whole lot here at Renegade Fighting Systems, and Phil, he's shown me a lot with striking and making me more comfortable in my hands. So I'd say the thing I've improved the most with is probably jiu-jitsu, but I'd say everything's improved quite a bit from where I started. I think the person I admire most in MMA would probably have to be John Jones, because he's just a badass. He's well-rounded at everything he does. He's excellent at countering to what other people's techniques are, and working with it. He's really a freak athlete, in my opinion. He's well-rounded at everything. His wrestling, his jiu-jitsu, his striking is excellent. He really is a world-class athlete in MMA. The reason I'm doing this whole fighting thing is just my competitiveness, and that follows from everything I've done in my past growing up. From wrestling, I was real competitive, and even in racing, just to be that competitive in a sport shows, how much heart and desire you really have to it. And we all want to go out there and be the best at anything we participate in. And just like me in racing, I work real hard to try and go out there and be, my goal is to be better than every other guy out there. And it's the same here. Come to this gym and you train hard and you bust your butt to go in that fight and prove you're better than that guy that you're stepping in the cage with. And it's not about the violence. It's not about the fact you're getting to beat someone up. It's about the fact that you're a competitor and you want to go out there and prove that you're better than that person.